Hey man, we're going down. We can't keep going down.
Above the Pacific Ocean, the pilots of Transair Flight 810 can't get their cargo plane to climb.
Just hitting the water is going to tear the airplane apart.
We're in the water! We're in the water!
Remarkably, they survive the crash and are rescued by the Coast Guard.
They're covered in gasoline and hydraulic fluid, so it wasn't pretty.
Investigators are eager to interview the crew.
Did both engines fail at the same time?
Most likely. That's my conclusion.
The evidence does not support the pilot's assessment.
It looks fine. No internal damage.
So it was critical for us to get more information to better understand what had happened there.
It's the middle of the night at Daniel K. Inouye International Airport in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Okay. Let's see.
Crews have just finished loading cargo for Transair Flight 810.
Okay, thank you. See ya.
The captain of tonight's flight is Henry Okai. He has almost 16,000 flying hours.
So this captain is highly experienced in the aircraft and doing it for a while.
Engine start checklist.
Engine start checklist. Tail stand.
Removed.
Cargo.
First Officer Gregory Ryan is a lawyer who recently returned to flying part-time for Transair.
It's not necessarily the best pilot career straight up, but you do get to be in Hawaii, you get to fly an airplane.
Engine start checklist complete. And clear right.
Clear right.
Transair flights use Rhodes Express as a call sign.
Tower, Rhodes Express 810, taxi kilo.
Rhodes Express 810, Honolulu Tower, runway 8 right, taxi via Charlie, Romeo, Tango, Romeo, Alpha.
Transair is owned and operated by Rhodes Aviation, which transports cargo between the Hawaiian Islands.
They had the postal contract, which was quite lucrative. Their focus was on keeping their costs down to maintain their advantage over more and well-established competitors.
The plane is a Boeing 737-200, built in the 1960s and 70s for passenger travel. Today, they're workhorses for transporting cargo.
Twin engines, smaller aircraft, it was designed for short-haul operations. Wasn't very sophisticated, no automation. I love flying that airplane.
The pilots prepare for takeoff.
Runway 8 right confirmed. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Rhodes 810 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 8 right, cleared for takeoff. Rhodes 810.
Tonight's flight is a short hop to Kahului on the neighboring island of Maui, only 100 miles away.
Okay, you have control.
Okay, I have control.
At 1:33 a.m., Captain Okai hands over the plane to First Officer Ryan.
Engine stable. 80 knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Within seconds of lifting off,
Damn.
Lost an engine. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
the pilots have lost thrust in one of their engines, only 390 feet off the ground.
Losing an engine after takeoff is one of the most critical events that can happen in a flight. You're close to the ground, you're slow. However, we also know from our training that the aircraft will fly perfectly well on one engine.
The first officer levels the plane and continues to climb away from the airport.
Flaps. Turn 220 heading. I'll give you the flaps.
Okay.
Rhodes, A10.
We have an emergency.
Stand by. We're on 220 heading.
You can inch up to 2,000.
The captain wants to put more distance between the plane and the ocean, so they have space to address the problem.
Anytime you have an emergency situation, maintain aircraft control. You fail to do that, nothing else you do matters.
Okay, Rhodes, A10. We've lost an engine. We're on a 220 heading, maintaining 2,000. Declaring an emergency. How do you read?
Rhodes Express 810, you are cleared visual approach, runway 4 right.
You can turn in towards the airport.
The controller clears Flight 810 to return to the airport.
Okay, Rhodes, A10. We're gonna run a checklist. I'll let you know when we're ready to come to the airport.
Captain Okai wants to assess the situation further before returning to the airport. Flight 810 has been in the air less than 3 minutes, flying over the Pacific Ocean on a very dark night.
Okay, I have control.
Roger.
Okay, let's see. What's the problem? What's going on with the gauges?
The pilots troubleshoot the situation.
So it looks like the number 1.
Number 1's gone?
Gone, yeah. We still have the number 2.
So we have number 2. Okay.
They confirm they've lost their number 1, or left engine. They now must rely on their right engine to return to the airport.
Let's do the engine failure shutdown checklist. And I have the radios now.
Okay.
There's a number of things this checklist is going to do for you. It's going to confirm the failed engine, and you're going to want to secure that engine.
Okay. Engine failure or shutdown. When one of these occurs, an engine failure, an engine flameout, another checklist directs an engine shutdown.
As the pilots zero in on the problem engine, the situation intensifies.
Hey, we're redline here.
The right engine is now overheating, and they're losing altitude.
We should pull back on the right one a little bit.
Okay. We should head back to the airport.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
The pilots now face the possibility of losing both engines.
Problems on your second engine is going to significantly change your outlook because you've got the dark water below you and you know you're running out of options.
Okay, Rhodes 810.
We'd like to come to the airport now. We might lose the other engine.
Rhodes Express 810, roger. Confirm you still have the airport in sight?
Negative.
The pilots have descended too low to see the airport. Only the lights on the shoreline are visible.
Hey man, we're going down. We can't keep going down.
We're descending.
The captain has no other option but to increase power to the overheating engine, risking a double engine failure.
How's the EGT?
Oh, it's max. It's beyond max.
The temperature of the right engine is now dangerously high, and the pilots suspect it could fail at any moment.
Here we go, flaps. Flaps 1.
Fearing the worst, the first officer suggests configuring the plane for a water landing.
No, not yet.
Okay, we're very slow though.
The captain's efforts to reduce the loss in altitude aren't working.
Shoot. Okay, flaps 1.
Just hitting the water is going to tear the airplane apart, so you want to be at the lowest possible airspeed. The flaps will facilitate that.
Rhodes Express 810, low altitude alert.
As Transair Flight 810 descends below 400 feet, the controller is automatically alerted to the aircraft's dangerously low altitude.
Are you able to climb at all?
Negative. Can you let the Coast Guard know?
We will. Watch desk, please call the Coast Guard. Flight 810, 737 is probably going to be in the water.
How's the EGT?
If the engine temperature has improved, they might be able to climb.
Hot, way over.
Marine, pull up.
The chances of reaching the airport 6 miles away deteriorate as the plane descends even further. The controller has an idea.
Express 810, do you want Kalailoa?
There's a closer airport. It might be the pilot's last hope.
We want the closest runway available, please.
Anything we can land on.
If they can't make it to the closer airport, there might be no other option than to ditch the 737 into the Pacific Ocean and hope for rescue.
Too low. Gear.
Okay, give me a heading.
Terrain. Pull up.
The pilots of Transair Flight 810 have one last chance to reach land.
Roads Express 810, the airport is about a 310 heading from you.
But it's too late.
Pull up. Terrain.
We're in the water!
Pull up.
We're in the water!
12 minutes after takeoff, Transair Flight 810 hits the ocean just 2 miles from the Kalailoa airport.
Watch desk, 810's in the water, 2 miles southeast of Kalailoa.
Coast Guard Air Rescue is immediately dispatched.
Hearing that there's a 737 that crashed, I didn't believe it. But if there is, and there's 200 people in the water, what am I gonna do?
They told me 2 souls on board. We're like, all right, 2 is a lot more manageable than like 200.
45 minutes later, there's still no sign of the plane or the pilots. Rescuers fear the worst, until...
There were a bunch of boxes now floating by us. I figured, all right, this might be the start of a debris field. So we started our second pass, and grabbing onto the vertical fin of the tail was one of our pilots.
It's Captain Okai.
I was like, all right, he is still okay, great. Still want to find the second pilot.
They soon spot the first officer on a cargo pallet, bleeding from the head.
Right before we started to make the moves to put me in the water to go up to him, the plane moved.
The tail section the captain had been clinging to sinks beneath the waves.
The captain is drowning right now.
They race back and deploy the rescue swimmer.
As soon as I grabbed his hand, it's like his eyes rolled back and he went limp.
They're dripping wet, covered in gasoline and hydraulic fluid, so it wasn't pretty.
The first officer is soon rescued by a fire department vessel as the captain is rushed to a local hospital. Both pilots survive.
Good planning, good crew, good decision making, and then implementing those decisions is how we came out on top.
While the pilots recover from their injuries, investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, arrive on the scene.
Right now, we're in the fact-gathering phase. Once we finish the fact-gathering, we'll switch into the analytical side, and then that's when we'll go into determine the probable cause and contributing factors.
What can you tell me about last night?
It was a normal night, slow. There was another Transair flight inbound around the same time.
And when did Flight 810 alert you that there was a problem?
Investigators turn to the controller to determine what might have caused Transair Flight 810 to ditch into the Pacific.
It was about 2 minutes into the flight. They reported they'd lost an engine.
Okay, Rhodes 810, we've lost an engine. We're on a 220 heading, maintaining 2000. Declaring an emergency. How do you read?
They wanted to work on the problem before turning back.
Did they say which engine?
No, but not long after they said that they might lose the other engine as well.
Really?
Okay, Rhodes 810.
We'd like to come to the airport now. We might lose the other engine.
Could Transair 810 have really lost both engines?
The only information we had to go on initially was the communications between the airplane and the controller, but the airplane and its recorders were at the bottom of the ocean.
Thank you.
Another NTSB team is tasked with recovering the airplane and its engines lying 350 feet deep on the ocean floor.
At the depth that the airplane was at, it's difficult to get divers down there. So in order to actually hook all of our equipment up to the aircraft and pull it up, we needed to use ROVs.
It will take time for the investigation to secure the necessary equipment from a salvage company on the mainland.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad to see you here.
So am I. Very glad. Yeah.
Investigators meet with Captain Okai to determine if Transair Flight 810 did lose both engines.
The purpose of this investigation is to determine probable cause and prevent recurrence. Our role is not to assign fault.
I understand.
It's critical to speak to pilots as soon as we can because we want to get those fresh memories.
Walk me through what happened.
Everything was normal up to about 400 feet. Gear up. Damn! There was a whoosh sort of a sound, not a pow. It was a whoosh. Then it wasn't a roll. My first officer was able to counteract that. Lost an engine. You got it? Yeah, I got it. Eventually, we leveled off at 2,000 feet, and I go, Greg, what do we have?
So it looks like the number one.
Number one's gone?
Gone, yeah. We still have the number two.
So we have number two. Okay.
I'm looking at number one EPR, there's no power. I'm looking at number two and EPR, it's coming down.
The captain explains he first lost power in the left engine and was losing power in the right.
How's the EGT?
Oh, it's max, it's beyond max.
Did both engines fail at the same time?
Most likely. That's my conclusion.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll be in touch.
What could have caused both engines to fail so soon after takeoff?
The purpose of this investigation...
A dual engine failure seemed improbable, but both the crew seemed to agree that that is what had occurred. We couldn't confirm or deny it unless we could actually look at the wreckage and get the recorders.
But those vital clues remain out of reach, deep on the bottom of the sea. Could contaminated fuel have brought down Transair Flight 810?
You're looking for an item that's common to both engines, would cause them both to shut down at the same time. For that would be most likely the fuel.
So one thing that we did do at the airport was take samples from the fuel truck that had been used to fuel the airplane before it departed.
The U.S. Navy conducts the testing.
If you have water in your fuel, that was most likely to be the cause of fuel contamination.
When the fuel samples are analyzed, the results are conclusive.
We actually found that the fuel that was in the aircraft conformed to standards as we would expect.
So according to the pilots, they lose the left engine first, and then the right.
All the samples from the fuel truck tested clean. What was the weather like on that night? Any volcanic activity?
Hawaii is in an active volcano zone. Could volcanic ash have caused the engines to fail?
Volcanic ash is very bad for jet engines. It's like throwing sand in the gears. Jet engines will shut down.
In 1982, a British Airways 747 traveling from England to New Zealand flew through an ash cloud over Indonesia. All 4 engines failed. The plane was high enough for pilots to be able to restart the engines, find an airport, and land safely.
Nothing here. Clear night.
So that leaves maintenance.
There were no reports of volcanic ash on that night. The only information that we have to work on is what the crew's telling us is that they had a dual engine failure. So we're going to look at the maintenance on the engines.
In the meantime, recovery crews pinpoint the exact location of the plane. It has settled on the ocean floor in 2 large pieces.
Often with water recoveries, we have an airplane that's in multiple different pieces. They're usually smaller pieces and they're less heavy. So to bring them up intact was a bigger engineering problem.
It means another delay for investigators.
The plane is what, like 40-something years old?
The team digs into the engine history of the accident aircraft to determine why both engines might have failed.
46. Flown over 69,000 cycles. The engines have been around, too. Left engine, 32,000 flying hours, and the right, over 70,000.
Engines that old are going to need upkeep.
Jet engines are very solid machines with proper inspection and maintenance. They can fly on forever.
Anything in the FAA database?
Investigators look into service reports filed by Transair with the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, to see if the aircraft had any history of engine troubles.
I've got 3 reports on this aircraft. The most recent was 2.5 years ago. Left engine failure at 2,000 feet.
That's something.
Did an aging aircraft put the lives of 2 pilots in jeopardy? The team researches the repair work that's been performed on the engines over the years.
Both engines were serviced 2 years ago and underwent a daily check the day before the accident flight.
Did they report anything?
No discrepancies.
It's possible that maintenance could have missed something.
Call your contacts at the FAA. Maybe they can shed some light on Transair. And I'll speak to maintenance personally.
Because of the possibility that there had been a dual engine failure, we did a deep dive on the maintenance organization at the airline, trying to find potential theories for something that could have gone wrong.
Bit of a mess over there at Transair Maintenance.
What did you find out?
Chief Maintenance Inspector quit 6 weeks ahead of the accident, citing chronic maintenance issues and being understaffed. Also found multiple reports from different pilots about engines overheating.
Investigators uncover internal Transair reports revealing issues with the engines.
We noticed so many of these reported issues with temperature that we were starting to think that this might really involve a maintenance issue. There was just so much smoke, we thought there had to be some fire.
Anything specific to the accident aircraft?
No, they involved other airplanes. Not exactly a smoking gun. Anything from the FAA?
Most of the current inquiries into the company are policy and procedure related. Nothing to do with engine maintenance.
Investigators don't find any maintenance issues that would have brought down Flight 810.
We need those engines.
So even though we were discovering these issues with pilot reports and maintenance records, there wasn't anything clearly indicating a specific problem that would have led to this reported dual engine failure.
With a salvage company in place and the weather clearing, the NTSB is finally able to attempt the recovery of Flight 810 from 350 feet of water.
This was one of the largest water recovery efforts we have done in a couple decades.
The wreckage is successfully raised in 2 large pieces. The black boxes are recovered from the rear fuselage and sent to Washington for analysis. The engines are retrieved separately and brought to a warehouse for inspection.
To be able to see that wreckage come up just creates immense satisfaction because you're like, okay, now we can start this in earnest.
Let's start with this one.
Investigators begin with an examination of the right engine, the one the pilots say was overheating.
It's in better shape than I expected.
They were in pretty good shape. There was damage due to the water impact.
Let's take a look inside.
They perform a borescope inspection of the right engine. It enables them to examine the engine interior without the need for disassembly.
There. Take a look.
Broken fan blades.
See if there's any damage downstream. Multiple puncture marks on the turbine.
With that type of damage, the engine could have easily overheated.
Investigators discover 2 fractured turbine blades, which caused shrapnel damage inside the right engine.
The pilots were correct. The right engine was giving them trouble.
So from the examination on the right engine, they were able to see that there were blades that had fractured in the high-pressure turbine. But it was only those 2. And they knew that it would still be able to produce power. So it wasn't like a complete failure.
Looks like rust and corrosion inside of the blades caused them to rupture.
The routine maintenance inspection procedures contained in the maintenance manual would not necessarily have revealed the presence of cracks or one fractured blade.
So this is the engine the pilots said failed first.
Investigators turn their attention to the left engine.
Let's see what we got. It looks fine. No internal damage.
The pilots said the left engine failed, followed by the right. But investigators can't find anything wrong with the left engine.
When we found out that the left engine was undamaged prior to impact, it really changed the course of our investigation in terms of focusing more on the crew actions.
We pulled a flight path from the radar data.
I've got the CVR data. And here's a copy of the transcript.
Investigators turn to the cockpit voice recorder, or CVR, of Flight 810 to determine why the pilots thought the left engine failed, as the evidence suggests it did not.
Let's hear it from takeoff.
80 knots. Check. V1. Rotate.
V2. Positive rate. Gear up.
Damn.
Stop. Did you hear that? Play it again.
Gear up.
Definitely sounds like an engine surge.
They discover that Flight 810 suffered engine trouble 17 seconds after takeoff.
Most likely the blades breaking apart in the right engine. Keep playing.
Lost an engine. You got it? Yeah, I got it.
Yep, looks like you lost number
2.
Number 2.
Hold it right there.
They both said number 2, the right engine.
They were correct.
The pilot's original assessment matches what investigators have discovered. The initial problem was with the right engine.
So, why did they think that the left engine had failed?
We're able to hear the crew discuss. They had correctly identified the right engine. So at some point, in their mindset, it had flipped to the wrong engine.
Let's hear what happens next.
Flaps. Turn 220 heading. I'll give you the flaps.
Rhodes, A10. We have an emergency. Stand by. We're on 220 heading. You can inch up to 2,000.
Captain calls in the emergency. Tells the first officer to climb to a safe altitude. All sounds good.
And we're on 220 heading.
Say again. Heading 240.
240 heading. Rhodes, A10.
No, Rhodes 809. Rhodes 809, left 240.
Sounds like there's some overlap with another Transair flight.
According to these transcripts, the captain spends the next minute and 40 seconds communicating with the controller.
That's a long time in a critical moment.
Investigators learn that instead of monitoring the engines,
Rhodes Express 810, you are cleared visual approach runway 4 right.
the captain is distracted by a conversation with the controller.
Okay, Rhodes, A10. We're gonna run a checklist. I'll let you know when we're ready to come to the airport.
When you have an emergency situation, it is important to aviate, navigate, and communicate. Your third priority is communicating your emergency.
What happens next?
Okay, I have control. Roger. Okay, let's see. What's the problem? What's going on with the gauges?
The captain starts flying the plane and turns his attention to the engines.
So it looks like the number one.
Number one's gone?
Gone, yeah. We still have the number two.
So we have number 2. Okay.
Stop. The FO changes his diagnosis.
Investigators confirm that the first officer correctly assesses that the right engine lost power on takeoff.
Yep, looks like you lost number two.
But less than 4 minutes later, he tells Captain Okai it's the left engine that's failed.
So it looks like the number one.
Number one's gone?
Gone, yeah.
Why?
It wasn't clear why they had changed their minds about it.
The captain then instructs the FO to do the engine shutdown checklist, but he only gets through the first step.
Hey, we're red line here. We should pull back on the right one a little bit.
Okay.
The right engine overheats because of the internal damage, leading the pilots to believe they're losing both engines.
Once the crew had convinced themselves that they had a dual engine failure, they were focused almost exclusively on altitude and airspeed, and eventually they ran out of options and had to ditch.
It's clear that the right engine, the one with the issue, is overheating and not producing full thrust. But what led them to think the left engine wasn't working?
Let's see what the flight data recorder can tell us. Okay, let's see what the engines were doing.
Investigators examine the engine power data of Flight 810 to determine what actions the pilots took that led them to believe their perfectly working engine, the left one, had failed.
After the right engine failed, both engines are brought back to flight idle once they level off at 2,000 feet. That's proper procedure to get the speed down.
But the first officer never told the captain he brought the engines back to idle.
They discover a key step missing in the pilot's actions.
It was procedure for a crew member to verbalize when they moved the engine controls. In this case, the first officer actually did not do that, and that could have affected the captain's situational awareness of where those engine throttles were.
Why did the first officer fail to inform the captain of his action?
Send someone to interview the first officer again about bringing the throttles back.
So it was critical for us to get more information to better understand what had happened there.
Did anyone actually ever test the throttles?
After they leveled off, the pilots could have increased power to the left engine to confirm which engine had failed.
No, the left engine throttle stayed at idle for the rest of the flight.
If you're going into the water and you have no other option left, you're going to firewall both throttles just in case it might help.
Why didn't the captain check the first officer's misdiagnosis?
Let's ask him.
When the first officer subsequently said it was the number one, the captain had just accepted it. He didn't effectively cross-check that erroneous assertion. So we wanted to ask him why. Why did he accept that?
Captain Okai, thanks for meeting with me again. You're muted.
Investigators speak to Captain Okai one more time to find out why he thought the left engine had failed.
Sorry about that. Glad I can help.
When Greg told you the left engine had failed, do you recall initially thinking the right one had failed?
No. The thing with Greg is I've flown with him so many times. He's never made a mistake. If Greg says the left is gone, the left engine is gone.
Investigators learn the captain put his faith in his first officer's diagnosis.
And while trust is very important when it comes to crew resource management, you also want to verify. The captain did not verify the information that the first officer was giving him.
Okay, thank you.
Sure thing.
It's really critical when you do have an engine failure to look at all the available information and cross-check and agree that you have identified the correct engine. And in this case, that didn't occur.
What were the power readings when the engines were at idle?
Even if the captain trusted the first officer, wouldn't there be other indicators showing which engine had failed?
The left engine was 1.05, and the right, 1.12.
The team discovers the power was a little bit lower on the left engine, even though both engines were set to idle.
Okay, let's see. What's the problem? What's going on with the gauges?
They did have slightly different power outputs, and that is something you would see with two different engines.
That could have really affected the captain's decision-making.
If the captain had checked the gauges, the readings would have supported his first officer's report that the left engine had failed.
So it looks like the number one.
Number one's gone?
Gone, yeah.
So we have number two. Okay.
But this doesn't explain why the first officer never told the captain that he brought both throttles back in the first place.
If the first officer had said, hey, I pulled the thrust back on both engines, then that might have caused the captain to engage in a different thought process about what might be going on.
First officer follow-up interview.
Why didn't the first officer of Transair Flight 810 tell the captain he brought the power levers back after the right engine failed?
He has no recollection of bringing either thrust lever back to idle.
We believe that the first officer forgot because he was busy. That leads to stress. Stress leads to tunneling of attention. that can lead to fixation on a small number of parameters.
But even if the first officer didn't tell the captain about the thrust levers, there must have been other signs which engine failed. Check out the rudder data. Immediately after the right engine failed on takeoff, 5.5 degrees of left rudder is applied.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
After the right engine lost power on takeoff, the plane pulled to the right. When the first officer applied the left rudder, the plane straightened out.
The foot that isn't pressing on the rudder pedal is the side with the bad engine, so it's usually a pretty clear indication of which engine has failed.
He held that left rudder for 3 minutes. He had a clear indicator, but it never registered.
The fact that the first officer was applying left rudder was an indication that the right engine had lost power.
It's very possible that under those stressful conditions in the middle of the night over the water, you could make that mistake.
They made the right assessment initially, but in the end, the stress of the situation degraded their ability to fly the plane.
Investigators now know the series of events that led to the ditching of Transair Flight 810. When the right engine loses power after takeoff,
Damn!
both pilots make the proper assessment.
Yep, looks like we lost number two.
Number 2.
But while the captain communicates with air traffic control,
Okay, Rhodes 810.
We're gonna run a checklist.
the first officer reduces engine power.
Okay, let's see. What's the problem?
In a moment of stress, he forgets to tell the captain.
What's going on with the gauges?
The slightly different readings on the gauges lead the pilots to believe the fully functioning left engine has failed.
So it looks like the number 1.
Number 1's gone?
The captain relies on the first officer's assessment without doing his own analysis of the situation.
Gone, yeah. We still have the number 2.
So we have number 2. Okay.
Instead of confirming which engine had actually lost power and forgetting their original assessment, the pilots end up flying on a damaged engine.
How's the EGT?
Oh, it's max. It's beyond max.
Setting them up for an inevitable ditching.
We're in the water! We're in the water!
The pilot's misidentification of the damaged engine and their use of the only...
Before the NTSB's final report is published, Rhodes Aviation is shut down by the Federal Aviation Administration for numerous safety and maintenance violations.
While it may be disappointing that the crew never actually touched their left engine that was working properly, it is a testament to the human limitations that actually arise when you have stressful, high workload situations, and that's what we need to account for.
With only 50 737-200s remaining in service, it's deemed impractical to fit them with engine sensors that would alert pilots to a failed engine. But it's now standard in most passenger airliners.
Engine monitoring technology has improved considerably since this aircraft was manufactured. Newer airplanes actually give very clear indications to the pilot regarding which engine is bad and reduces the risk of the crew misidentifying it.